Hello, first grade friends. Today is Friday, September 18th, 2020, and it's Friday, so we've been working on red words. Remember, we're going to work on red words on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we're going to do our phonemic awareness and phonics on Mondays and Thursdays. Today, for our lesson, you're going to need some materials. If you have a red word book, you're going to need that. If you haven't picked that up from a school yet or don't have one, don't stress. You are all good. All you're going to need is a piece of lined paper and a red crayon, a red marker, or a red pencil. Something to write with that's red. Those are the materials that you're going to need today. So let's talk about what we're going to learn. I will learn how to read undecodable words. We call those red words, or you might know them as sight words. We call them red words because it means stop. When we think about the color red, it means that we cannot sound out the words. We have to spell read the words. There's a part of that word that is not, the letters and the sounds don't match, so we have to spell read them. I will show my learning today by reading and spelling undecodable words. So here are the steps to the learning of red words. First, we're going to write the red word in red on your paper. Then we will stand up, we will arm spell the word 3 times. We will sit down and we're going to trace the word 3 times with your finger. Then we will flip our paper over and from our memory, we will spell the word, write the word 3 times. Then you will write it on your own and you will use the word in a sentence. So we're going to start off with the word is. So again, if you have that red word book, take that out. Again, if you don't, that's okay too. Here's my other paper with it just written on a piece of paper. When we're looking at our paper, make sure when you write the word is, first of all, you spell it correctly. We really want to use those lines. We're going to start at the top of the line and go down. I wrote mine big, but notice I stopped. It didn't let it dribble off the end. It does not go into the basement. It's not a basement letter. It stops here. When we make the S, we've got little curve to make the S. If we're writing it in our red word book on a clean sheet, it looks like this. We're starting at the dotted line, line down, we stop at the baseline. We have a dot. S, little curve touches the dotted line, little curve touches the bottom line. Now we are ready to move on to the next step. All right, everybody stand up because we're going to arm spell the word. Stand up, you're going to hold the book in front of you, looking at the word. Remember, we're going to tap out on our arm. We're going to cross over the midline, putting our hand, our opposite hand on our shoulder. We're going to look at our book. We're going to say the letters and then run our hand down our arm with the word. Here we go. We're going to do it 3 times. I, S, is. Always looking at our book. I, S, is. I, S, is. Wonderful. Have a seat. Our next step is to trace the word with the letters with our finger 3 times. So find that pointer finger, give it a little wiggle, give it a little bend so it's all ready. Put it at the top of the letter E, or the top of the letter I. We're going to say the letters as we trace them. Then draw a line under the word to say the word. Here we go. I, S, is. We always do it 3 times. I, S, is. One more. I, S, is. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to write the word 3 times. So if you have your red word book, flip it over to the back and write 1 time and do a teacher check. Make sure you have it spelled correctly using your line spacing. If you don't have that red word book, that's okay. Here's your paper with that word is. Flip it over on the back. So we have to use our memory and write your word is. After you've written it 3 times correctly using good handwriting and good spacing, you're going to write the word in a sentence. My sentence says, the runner is fast. You can copy my sentence, or you can write your own. Make sure you start your sentence with a capital letter, using the word is, and a period or a question mark at the end. At any time, if I am going too quickly for you, always please stop the video and do each step at your pace. Let's move on to the next word. Here are our steps for the red words. Our next word is the word the. So turn to a clean sheet in your red word book, or take out that piece of paper that you're using and write the word the. Notice when I wrote the word the, I started at the top, I went to the bottom, crossed in the middle. My H is as tall as the T, so I start at the top, long line down, long line down. We want it taller than an N with a hump. When we make our E, little line, curve. Okay, if we're using our red word book, looks like this, using that line spacing. Okay, we have our word written now. Now we're ready to stand up and arm spell our word 3 times. Everybody up. Here we go. We're holding our book out in front of us. Take your other hand, put it on your shoulder, crossing that midline, crossing over your body. 3 times, we're going to say the letters, running our hand down our arm by saying the word. Here we go. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the. Awesome. Okay. Now, get that tracing finger ready. Give it a wiggle. Give it a bend. Here we go. Put it at the top of the T. Remember, we always start our letters at the top. We always start our letters at the top. All right, here we go. We're going to trace it, say the letters, and then the word 3 times. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the. Remember, if I'm going too fast, please stop the video at any time and then rejoin. Okay, the next step, take your red word book or your piece of paper, flip it to a clean sheet. You're going to write the word the 3 times, making sure after the first one you do a teacher check or a parent check to make sure you've spelt it correctly and you have your line spacing correct. If you're using your lined paper, flip it over on the back. Okay, writing it 3 times. After you have that correct 3 times, you're going to use it in a sentence. If you use the word the at the beginning of your sentence, make sure you use a capital letter. My sentence is, the wind is strong. Feel free to copy my sentence or write your own. If you need to, stop the video so that you can think about your sentence. And when you write your sentence on the bottom, you're going to write, if you have a red word book, you're going to write it right down here in the bottom where it says sentence. If you don't, go ahead and just use your lined paper to write your sentence. Our next word is you. Y-O-U. Write that word in your red word book. Go to a clean page, write the word you. Y-O-U. Y drops below the line. It goes down into the basement. So let that Y drop below the line into the basement. Notice that all of my letters touch and start at the dotted line in the middle. Okay, here's our next step. Stand up. We're going to arm spell it 3 times, holding it out in front of you. Take that other hand, cross it over and put it on your shoulder. Here we go. Y-O-U-U. 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 Excellent. Sit back down. Now, get that tracing finger out. Give it a little wiggle. Give it a little bend. We're starting on the Y. Point at the top of the Y. Remember, we always start our letters at the top. We always start our letters at the top. Okay, here we go. We're going to trace it, say the letters, and then the word. Y, O, U, U. Y, O, U, U. Y, O, U, U. Excellent. Okay, turn to a clean page. Flip your white paper over to the back, or in your red word book, flip it up to the lined page. Here's my word you. Flip it up. Write your word one time, then do a teacher check or a parent check. Make sure you have it spelled correctly, and then write it 2 more times. Remembering, you can stop the video at any time if I'm moving too quickly. Once you have written it 3 times, you're going to write it in a sentence. I like each of you. That was my sentence. You can copy my sentence, or you can write your own sentence, making sure you have a capital at the beginning, a period at the end, and if you start your sentence with you need a capital at the beginning. Here are the words that we wrote today. Let's read them. Is, the, you. Excellent. Make sure you take some time to look at the first grade List 1 and List 2 sight words. They are in this presentation. They're also linked. They're in Google Classroom. They're on the on-demand videos and the learning log this week. We have List 1 and List 2. If you can print, go ahead and print them. Print a couple copies. Play memory. Play a matching game. Practice spelling these words. We will add List 3 next week. It'll be very important that we continue to learn all of our sight words because there are many words that we need to learn to be fluent at in first grade. So keep practicing. You can also click and you need to do the phonemic awareness video, which you can find the link in the on-demand videos. It's also in your Google Classroom. I hope that you have a great weekend. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye.